What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Kind of Funny podcast. I am your host, Nick Scarpino, alongside It's Christmas in April, Joey Noel.
I'm a disaster today. I just want to throw that out.
You got a lot of drinks. I'm going to talk about that in a second.
There's a lot of things going on. My shoe's untied. Not in my normal spot. I got 2 hours of sleep last night. This is going to be a show.
2?
Yeah.
2 hours of sleep.
I went to it at 6 a.m. I don't know why I couldn't fall asleep.
Is it? Are you drinking too much caffeine beforehand, or are you just on the TikTok?
Probably TikTok. I was reading.
That'll do it. See, that's why me and Kevin don't read.
Reading put you to sleep.
No. I had to finish my book. But then there was the 3 hours after that. I don't know what happened.
About?
What was this one? This one is about a singer who they want her to be a really clean cut singer, but she doesn't want to be a singer.
Yeah, I fell asleep, Joe.
So then she gets engaged to her childhood love, I guess, who's now this really hard ass billionaire that owns a ski lodge thing, and then they have to try and fix her music contract.
Are you reading this on a screen, or are you reading an actual
on my
book?
Kindle?
Is it one of those e-ink ones, Joe?
Yes, the Paperwhite is what I have.
That's a good one.
Because I know, for screens, you're not supposed to look at screens before bed.
But
it's
not
eyes.
like an LED. It's like a back.
I don't know where I was going with this.
Because your brain and eyes.
Your eyes.
Your brain and your eyes are connected.
No, because your brain and your eyes, because darkness is supposed to produce a certain type of thing in your brain to allow you to go
but
to,
I had to
go to
finish my
bed.
book.
Yeah, but it creates melatonin, I think.
Melatonin, yeah, that's what it is.
When you do the screens, it tricks your brain into thinking it's daylight, and it keeps your brain up. Of course, that voice that you just heard, ladies and gentlemen, is the future of gaming. Blessing, Adeoye Jr.
So is Godzilla Minus Kong just not going to be available on
That's not what it's called.
What we were talking about
Minus One.
Well, no, and this is what pisses me off, right? We were talking about that.
It's factually true. There was no
Kong in that movie.
That's very true. Also, Andy's here.
Hey.
I was going to do the whole thing, but now it just feels like
It's
we're going
okay.
right into this.
And
I have a bone to pick with you about this Taco Bell addiction of yours in a second, but I will talk to Blessing about this.
Relax.
Well, he comes in 5 minutes for the podcast with Taco Bell, and I go, that's a bold choice. Because if I ate that much Taco Bell, I would be dog water on the podcast. And he was like, no, my body's not like yours. And just point in fact, he has said one word on this podcast so far.
I said I don't have I'm not
So I might be
weak-willed like you, is what I told you.
You said weak-willed. What does this do with my willpower?
because
you called my manhood into
anytime, and Joey brings up another great point. Anytime somebody brings up Taco Bell or somebody brings up eating Chipotle, everybody's like, oh, you're going to have to shit like crazy afterwards. I've never had that issue.
Yeah, I've not had that either.
No.
That's never been, I've never understood that as a
activator of shit.
Yeah, but I guess more of a common thing that everybody goes, oh, Taco Bell, you're going to get the shits afterwards.
It's because, and this is what's annoying to me, is because if you're not getting the shits from Taco Bell, you're not doing it right. That means you're ordering you're ordering the correct amount of items. Versus when I do it, I go, whenever I order Postmates Taco Bell, I put 3 items in there and I go, I should probably just get a bean and cheese burrito just in case. And then I also put a couple.
Why just in case? In case you lose one?
I don't know how hungry I'm going to be. I don't know how long the session's going to be. I don't know what we're watching. For instance, this weekend, I was looking for something to watch to tie it back to what Blessing was talking about. And there's nothing to rent. I ended up renting Ferrari, which is the Adam Driver, Michael Mann movie where Adam Driver does a terrible Italian accent the entire time.
Not to be confused with
House of Gucci, where he does an even worse Italian accent. In fact, I have a bone to pick with Adam Driver.
I don't like you coming
terrible
after.
Well,
Adam
maybe
Driver.
Adam Driver just doesn't do accents. Maybe that's not his strong suit.
He is okay in this movie as far as the accent is concerned.
Okay.
Penelope Cruz plays his first wife, and she obviously has a Spanish accent, but that works well because it's Mediterranean, I guess. European, Mediterranean, whatever. So that works. Shailene Woodley is in this.
She's terrible.
And she...
What?
I think that she's one of the worst.
Wow.
I like
Shailene.
I don't even know who that is, Blessing. I couldn't
She was married to Aaron Rodgers.
She was in one of those series.
Maybe not married.
I'm just
yeah, she was. She was.
I've just never heard such an incendiary thing from Joe about an actor.
She fucking sucks.
She's terrible.
She's she's maybe the one that I truly have a bone to pick with. Of why do we keep putting her in things? I think that she's God
damn.
For me, that's Kristen Stewart. For me, that's you look at Kristen Stewart, you're it's just so one note.
You've never watched The Good
But have
Place?
you watched? I mean, that's her in Twilight for sure. She's gotten way better since then.
I saw her in the Deep Sea one that she did.
Which
that
is
was really
fun.
that she was good.
Yeah.
But oh my god, it's not. But
Love Lies Bleeding supposed to be real good.
Okay, I mean, I'll
That's
watch
the new
it.
one
That's her
that
in
she's
Superwoman, right?
I don't
Melissa
know.
Benoist?
No.
Was it not? Was it not the girl
No,
that
I
played
think it's a
Supergirl?
different lady.
It's someone else, but
No,
Wow, we're just starting this
Nick,
podcast off
just-
hard in the yard.
just to get back to the Taco Bell of
Sure.
it all. I need to be a lot better about. Like, here's the thing. I ordered the 3 taco crunchy taco combo, and I'm totally fine. Feel great. Feel satisfied.
That's wrong.
And then I think of other times where I might order 5 crunchy tacos, and I eat them all, and I'm like, I feel perfectly satiated right now with only 3 tacos. I've never needed the extra 2. Just order a standard thing, and you'll be like, all right, I'm good. But you and I, if you put extra food in front of us, we're gonna eat that extra food.
I'm gonna eat that.
Like if you gave me some flaming hot fries in a Ziploc baggie, I'd eat it, feel totally fine. And then if you left the rest of the bag there in front of me,
put a horse feeder on me with flaming hot Cheetos, I'm eating that whole thing.
I would eat the whole goddamn thing.
Man, one time for whatever
Would you
reason,
feel bad after you eat the whole thing? With the
mentally,
and
like
probably physically.
Well, because like whenever I, go to town on these fucking snacks, I'm just like, man, I'm ashamed of myself. I should not have done that, and I know better after the fact, but it's like I go into a fugue state. I don't know what's happening in that moment. I wake up to it, I'm just like, with this rain on me, pouring on me,
covered in dust.
Red hot dust.
I don't know what it is.
That's me with grapes. I've been
You with grapes?
yeah.
You just can't stop eating them.
You got to keep the grapes away
I've been
from
buying
me.
a lot of grapes recently. Like every single time I go grocery shopping now, I like pick up a bag of grapes.
Yeah.
With the idea that I'll eat them over time, and they do not make it through the night.
When you eat grapes, do you feel like you're in ancient like Greece or Rome?
A little bit, yeah.
Did you ever do the thing where you kind of feed them to yourself like this on the?
No,
bone?
I do the thing where I put them in the freezer and I let them freeze, and then I eat
that's-
frozen grapes.
Have
That's
you
nice.
seen the
That's a good
new-
treat though.
Have you seen the new frozen grapes that they sell at the grocery store that are covered in like Sour Patch Kids sour
No,
stuff?
but I've
Seems like
heard
we're-
It's
people
called
talk
like
about
Fruit
this.
Riot or something like that, and
gotta
there's
do- we
different
don't gotta be
flavors.
doing that to
I think.
fruits.
Andy, this seems like a. Don't you like sour candy?
This is a great idea because the problem with frozen grapes is that there's no like taste on the outside.
Too cold.
So like it's just the grape skin, and so you don't
Right.
get anything until you bite into it.
Sure.
But if you like, smother it in
I
Sour
think you might
Patch
get a
Kids
little bit
candy.
more of
Right,
the
yeah.
flavor out of the grape if you don't freeze them. If you just eat them.
Yeah, but then it's like
nature
it's not as
intended.
cool.
That's
But
fair.
when you get a real crunchy cold grape that's not frozen,
So these are
good.
frozen.
Yeah, so
Mangoes?
it's frozen chunks of fruit that are covered with like
Sugar, basically Sour Patch Kids.
yeah.
That's incredible.
But that sounds really good.
Sounds incredible.
It sounds great, but here's the problem though: is like you can't take that to a movie because
But
they're going to unfreeze by
But
the
the
time you get
logo's
in
so cute, though.
But do you care if they're unfrozen?
Kinda.
Does it matter?
Then we're getting
'Cause
into
then
the
you just have
Dippin' Docs
grapes.
conundrum, and I
Why
just
is
don't like
the
that.
use case for this taking it to the movie? Is that what you said?
I mean, you know why? Because I always equate sour candies with me trying to get to eat Andy's candy at a movie.
Oh, okay.
Because he always has a sour candy.
I
So
always
as
have a
long as
Sour
Andy
Patch.
doesn't sneak them into the movie theater, you have no issue.
I mean, I won't. I just net neutral. I won't try
Okay.
them at all. That'll be good, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, if you didn't know, this is a Kind of Funny podcast where each and every week 4 best friends gather around this table, each bringing dumb topics for your amusement. A couple housekeeping things before we get going. This Friday, April 12th at noon, come experience Pokemon like you've never experienced it before through the eyes of a 44-year-old man. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only me, Nick Scarpino, will be playing my very first Pokemon game, but with a little bit of a twist. It's a Nuzlocke. I don't even know what that means. Would you believe that? But Kevin
do believe
and
that.
Roger and Mike are super excited about it, and I'm going to take this very seriously. Andy's going to be there as well. We're going to have a lot of fun.
And you've never played a Pokemon
I'm trying
game?
to edit.
Never played one
I'm
before.
trying to edit the ROM to where I can customize the sprites because I want Nick in the game whenever he
Oh,
pops
that's
up to
cool.
like throw.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure that out. It's like not super easy to figure out.
That sounds
a Nuzlocke,
complicated.
for people who don't know, is like if your Pokemon dies, it's dead. You can't just
like hardcore Pokemon.
You don't ever go to a Pokemon gym and try to resurrect.
Oh, because it was sold to me as the easiest of Pokemon games.
Yeah,
I mean-
that's definitely what
They said that you're gonna have a good time and you're not gonna have any heartache at all, or or get
No.
really attached to a Pokemon that
No.
you name Greg, and then it gets bludgeoned to death.
I do want to name. Hopefully, people donate $5,000 to get Pokemon named after themselves or something
Whoa.
like that.
That's
cool.
the minimum.
Yeah,
Perfect. I love
Venmo
that.
directly to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna be happening this Friday, April 12th at noon on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames for what will sure to be a very electrifying experience. Andy, do the Pika. Thank you to our Patreon producers, James Hastings, Casey Andrews, Kiernan Hovasavian, Carl Jacobs, Kishan Patel, Kieran Lidner, and Nathan Lamoth. You
Thank
guys are
you.
all awesome. And shout out to our wonderful sponsors this week. We're brought to you by Factor, Dragon's Dogma 2, and Robinhood. But we'll talk about those a little bit later. the big question on everyone's mind: when the hell can I watch Godzilla Minus One?
Minus Kong. So the
What's
news,
going on with this?
The news that came out recently was
Can I
that
have it?
the American studios or
Googling.
whatever don't want to release Godzilla Minus One too soon because they don't want it to get in the way of the one that's out now.
Steez the Steez with
So
the
they'll
new
get
Empire.
confused.
So when that movie comes out to direct or whatever, that it's going to extend the amount of delay that we have to wait in order to get Godzilla Minus One on demand. That's the word on the street.
But like,
Yeah, it's
I
coming
guess
out
that
in
makes
Japan
sense,
May
right?
1st. We have to wait till like way after that.
God, that's annoying.
Have you not seen it either?
I have not seen it. This movie totally flew under the radar for me. And I think then one by one, people went and saw it in the office and they're like, dude, this is amazing. But I'm like,
It came out during the holidays, which I
that
feel
what
like is a
happened?
hard time.
yeah,
For
I was
me
traveling
personally
during the
to get to the
holidays.
movie, yeah.
that was tough. But I'm just, here's dumb me, just assuming, I mean, if you saw it in December, by January, it'll obviously be $3 to rent on Amazon or whatever. I'll just pick it up and I'll watch it at home. Because I'm sort of in Greg's camp now where if I don't 100% have to go to the movie theater, I just want to be at home watching.
I'm pretty sure I was lied to. I could have sworn I either heard or I read somewhere that it was going to be on Hulu like a week after it was in theater.
Well, Hulu's all up in the air right now, as you guys know.
What's up with Hulu?
Well, as you guys know, of course, I would like to. Actually, this is a good time for it. I didn't want to do this. I want to do this at the end of the podcast,
Uh-oh.
but I would like
course.
to do a very serious topic right now. I would like 10 seconds of silence in memoriam for Joey's mom's Hulu login,
Oh.
which
Oh.
unfortunately stopped working for me.
Whoa.
But it's just because
Yes.
we had to update the password. You could have just asked me for it.
Okay, well then don't worry about it. We're back. We're back, baby.
Like Kevin did last week.
Did he?
Yeah.
I just assumed Hulu cracked it down because I don't understand what the hell's going on with Hulu
So
and
I
Disney
think
Plus right now.
I figured it
Disney
out.
Plus just announced that they're going to crack down on everyone.
Correct.
Netflix already did it for
And
me.
Netflix already did.
where
so
I can't watch
think-
Netflix anymore.
So I think I figured it out though. I figured out the loophole. Be cool about it. Don't fuck this up, everyone.
Chat, everybody
So it
shut up.
doesn't. It won't let you log in like on your TV apps to other people's accounts. That's when it
that's-
kicks everybody out.
That's what I'm thinking.
But if you're logged in on your phone and you cast it to your TV,
I
I still use my parents' Netflix.
that is,
and I think
smart.
that's the move.
I-
You just
I'll-
have to cast it to your TV.
I will be honest with you.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've been very thankful to Mrs. T that she has
Also,
allowed
this
us.
is my Hulu account that I pay for. I don't know where my mom
I
narrative
don't know where it came
in.
from either. It's funnier. It's a funnier narrative.
It's just so funny.
I will say this.
Definitely made up that narrative.
At a certain point,
It's like unlike how I used to live with Kevin's mom.
you did live
Why,
with Kevin.
Andy?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What were the nights like there?
Sad. I was just sad. I was like, what am I doing here?
Look, all I'll say is,
Get
all
me
I'll
out
say
of
is
this
this:
place.
we are at a place in the Scarpino household
Yeah.
where we are like, look, Hulu's got great content. We're just gonna subscribe finally.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I hate,
Wow.
I know, but it's stupid. I mean, they make some of my
Dude,
favorite shows, some of my favorite movies.
Have
on
you
Hulu. They're
have you
great.
seen Shogun yet?
No, that's why we have to subscribe because Danielle got 5 episodes in.
It's
and
incredible.
then Mrs. T called and said, "Get off my plane, get off my login."
Mhm.
It's
And so now we got to
good.
finish it. So I got to go back and get the Hulu login.
Have you guys seen it?
Yeah.
No.
I am
Are you caught
I think
up?
I have like 20 minutes left in the most recent episode, but it's freaking fantastic. How do we feel about Disney and Hulu's color melding?
Ugh,
Oh,
I
now it's
I
that
don't
weird
like
teal
it.
Yeah.
color.
I don't love it.
I don't like it.
Disney was always like Hulu was always filmy green,
Mhm.
and it was that god awful color green, like the almost Xboxy green, but a little bit more
It's like
foresty.
shamrocky.
Yeah, but I'm in for it because it was like very distinctive.
Yeah.
Right? And then Disney Plus is what? What do we associate that with red?
Blue.
Were they blue or
Oh,
they
Disney
red?
Plus has always been dark blue.
Oh, dark
Yeah.
blue. Yeah,
They had a little
Yeah.
gradient.
little bit.
But now this
Stay in your
icon
lane.
update. Yeah, this icon
I don't like it.
has changed on Xbox. I'm not sure where else it's changed, but the iconic dark blue Disney icon, Disney Plus icon, is now like a mixture of Hulu's green and their blue, so it's kind of like a teal kind of, which I'd normally be super into. I love new things, but I'm like, I don't. It's throwing me off because it's like, well, the apps are still separate
Yeah.
for me at least. I had to drop the ad-free Hulu stuff. Like it was real expensive.
Yeah.
Oh, you dropped
They're
the
getting
ad-free?
ads.
Yeah.
Well, I'm screwed. I got to pay for the ad-free viewing now on Amazon because
Same
now
here.
it's so stupid. I
Yeah.
got to pay $3 more because they won't let me do a
Don't
watch party.
But you
Yeah.
know
Okay.
what? You know what? I'm okay with ads now.
See, that's where I'm starting to get to.
I'm getting okay
Really?
with
Where,
ads.
like,
We're
right
going
now
back. We're
on-
going backward.
On Hulu, I am using somebody's Hulu who I'm not talking to in a while.
Joey's mom.
I'm using Joe's mom Hulu. And I'm like, I should probably just use my own Hulu.
Yeah.
And I realized it came to me that I do have Hulu. I just have the ad version because I got it through Spotify like years and years ago.
Sure.
So now I'm like, I could just log into my own. Because like it's 3 minutes of me sitting through some soap
Perfect to
commercial.
go get some water.
It's always a minute and a half.
Bathroom.
I look at my phone. I scroll through stuff.
Yeah,
I update.
but that's
I
the thing
go
is like
pee.
whenever I start a show, usually it's like after I'm cooking or something. And so like I'll take my food, I'll take it to my room,
cook.
I'll start the show, and I'm like, oh, I know I need to go get water out the fridge. And then by the time I come back, I've already missed like the first 2 minutes. So I'm rewinding anyway.
Yeah.
You're right.
There was an ad built in there. I'm solving my own issues.
Well, that's the thing too, is like it's funny because that's how we used to have to watch TV back in the day when there were like 3 channels. You'd have to time everything for the break, right? Yeah, there was like 5 channels. Whatever. Don't look at me like that. You look at me like I was born in the Stone Age. Okay, it was the 80s and 90s. You remember
3
those
channels?
days.
Goddamn.
Blessings like, did they have electricity?
They did, but you had to like, in order to use it, you had to like turn off something else.
Oh,
No, I'm
okay.
kidding. But it's so interesting that people are just acclimating back to just watching ads again. Because I'm like halfway there. There's certain stuff on Amazon. The only reason why I had to buy the Amazon like no ad thing was because we had to call a last minute audible when we were watching Roadhouse.
Yeah.
One of us needed to buy it so that
We could do the
watch party because that's how Amazon's getting money out of you now. But otherwise, some certain things where I'm watching like Ricky Stenicki and it's like you got to watch 3 ads. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm not paying an extra $3 for this John Cena classic.
What sucks
still-
about Hulu on the web is you don't get ads. You just get a black screen with a countdown.
It's weird.
Oh, interesting.
Like I've never gotten an ad on my web browser, and it's
You
not
have
because like
blockers?
it's not because of any of that. It's just like I have stock Firefox or whatever, or like even on Chrome. Nothing, I don't get ads. It's just a black screen, and it shows you the time on the top left, and it's like, all right, 90 seconds to go. Just go do something while nothing's playing. It's just like muted right now. It's very, very odd.
I will say I was happy that Hulu and Disney are finally like doing the merge because I want all of them to consolidate. I want Apple to buy HBO or whatever the hell's going on. Maybe just buy Warner Discovery, just buy the whole thing, and then turn that into one platform. I just want 3 platforms.
That's fair.
I'm tired of too many platforms.
I need Stars and Showtime to figure their shit out.
They need to figure their
AMC
shit
Plus,
out.
all of these like one-off
Where are you going?
ancillary
know
ones.
what I mean?
I need you all to merge.
You
so
know
I
what
have
they're
a
like?
reason
They're like
to
couch
subscribe to you.
surfers. They could just call up random friends. Can I just
Oh,
stay on your
yeah.
couch for a few weeks?
You're right.
It's like get off the couch. Go
what?
get a house. AMC Plus.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? Paramount Plus did it. It's not going great for them.
So AMC Plus here, like it's like a movie membership.
Well, so what she's
No.
talking about is Stars
AMC
is like
the channel, like Walking Dead AMC.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, back when Better Call Saul was still showing, I subscribed to whatever that thing was because the quality on cable or whatever looked like shit, and then the web app looked a lot nicer.
Now they're a different.
well,
I don't
now
feel
they've
like
got,
they
but their
switched.
stuff is like an app within an app, right? Or am I not thinking about this right? Because
You
Showtime and
can-
Stars, if you go to, I think it's Hulu or Paramount,
You can some of them you can add as
you
add-ons,
add as an add-on thing, yeah.
but you can also just sub like by themselves because AMC I only subscribe to watch *Halt and Catch Fire* for like a month.
What a show!
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
Okay,
so
and they have their own app.
What a show!
Yeah.
Okay. See, I always see Stars and AMC of being like, "Hey, do you want to watch this cool movie? Like, just you got to have a Stars subscription with this whatever thing." And I'm like, that's too many times that I got to hit up your mom for a login.
I've been talking about Hulu earlier. I dropped to ad version, so dropped down from $18 to like $8 a month. And I've been rewatching Dragon Ball Z Kai
Oh,
for my first time since I was like a kid, right?
Yeah.
And I had actually never even watched Kai, and what Kai is for a lot of people who don't know is like Dragon Ball Z and a lot of anime, a lot of filler. You're gonna get 7 episodes of one fight, like because there's a million flashbacks and there's a lot of just dead air and just ways for them to just kind of fill episodes and fill time. Kai came out several years later to kind of like, let's take out some of the filler, let's trim some of the fat here and there. And I've been rewatching it and it's just so good.
Dude, I tried to start it over Christmas break. And the mistake I made was that I tried to start it in my sister's house with her nephews or with her children, right? So it's my nephews. And they're like 9 years old and 5 years old. And I'm like, oh, surely they'll enjoy some Dragon Ball Z. But I put on Kai and it's like, I'm pretty sure it might have been 4:3. I don't even know if it was HD or not.
Oh,
but
it's
like,
all 4:3. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it looks old. It starts off, and I'm like, oh, they're just not in this. Like, they're just not interested in this.
stinks.
Yeah, and like I by the time I got back, I didn't have that craving anymore. But I still want to go back at some point because I still haven't watched all of Dragon Ball Z from beginning to end. I know the full story, I experienced it mainly through video games because the video games will like cover the story over and over again. So I know every single thing that happens in Dragon Ball Z. I've just not watched Dragon Ball Z from beginning to end, but I love Dragon Ball Z.
Do kids really know about, like, because I hear a lot of times about parents being like, I was showing my kid, you know, Looney Tunes from the 50s or whatever, and they were loving it. Like, does that have like a big bearing on, like, do they know, oh, this looks this way because it's old, therefore it's not cool anymore?
As you ask that question, I get concerned of like, do kids still watch Looney Tunes? Or like, do kids fuck with Tom and Jerry or Scooby Doo?
I mean, I doubt it, because the only reason why I watched those shows growing up was because they were the only thing on. But now I think kids have so many things. I mean, most kids probably just watch what Ben watches, just whatever's on YouTube.
They turn on YouTube,
like,
man.
Bluey.
Yeah, Bluey and all that stuff. I mean, there's so many more products for kids at all ages now than there were when I was growing
I
up.
feel like it's fucked up.
It is. You know why?
Looney Tunes getting lots of time.
We used to watch cartoons like that were hyper violent, but because they were cartoons, our parents weren't paying attention. So we got to watch cool ass shit like the X-Men cartoons or like anime in the 80s that was for adults, but our parents just didn't understand. They were like, "Oh, that's fine. This is so clearly good."
Yeah.
So that was
It's
cool.
animated. It's for kids.
They're like, "Yeah, it's on. It's animated. Someone clearly checked this out." Spoilers, no one ever
like
did.
this is Spawn on HBO. You can't be watching Spawn on HBO as a 10-year-old.
I used to love that show. I was probably 15 or 16 when it came out, but that show, that's one you can go back and watch, and you go, when are they going to bring that bad boy back? Like X-Men 97.
She was so violent looking.
Did you watch the latest Invincible at all?
Okay, so I'm like 2 episodes in of this last 4.
Okay.
Of these the
Season 2.5.
about halfway through with it. Unbelievable.
There's a great little. Are you caught up?
I'm caught up. Yeah.
There's a great little meta commentary about animation. He goes to like
So good.
Do you watch that?
Yeah.
Have you seen it? It's so funny.
It's fantastic.
See, my only beef with that part was that Invincible season 2 was taking so long to actually come out that I'm like,
how much time did that take to make? You know, what I mean, why did we need this scene?
It took them so long, and then they put out 4 episodes, and they were like, all right, we'll see you in like 4 months, and then put out 4 more episodes.
Well, we talked about it recently, and I think that the strategy there wasn't like it was done. It was that Amazon wanted to get the ads on there.
Yeah, I forget what it was. Tim knew what
the whole
specifics were.
Amazon Prime adding the 30-second ads that they're doing now. We're like, hey, if you have Prime, you're gonna get ads on the videos, but you could pay $3 more or however much it is to get ad free. That
for it.
The second half of Invincible season 2 was already done. It's just that like Amazon wanted time to implement that system and that fucking.
I hated that because like I
bummed
think
me out.
Overall,
it released out of nowhere, dude.
It released out of nowhere, and I feel like the hype has just been nowhere to be seen. Like I've not been seeing people talk about it. Like for me, if they dropped it all at once, I would have been like perfect season. And I think that the break like totally fucked up the pacing,
the momentum.
Yeah. I think actually we're gonna do it in review on it. I think this week at some point. But that was my main criticism with it too. Was that I read the original comic run as it was sort of coming to an end. So I started it and I was able to actually kind of catch up. And then within 6 months or so, finish the whole run of Invincible. And you get the way the story is told in the comics is so disjointed. But if you read them all at once, it's rad.
Yeah. And
so this was the problem with me is like, I just didn't have the touchstone for like some of the, like, I forget the bad guy's name, Langstrom, I think it was.
Yeah. Levy,
yeah. That guy, I'm like, all right, I kind of remember what's going on with him. Kind of remember what's going on with Alan. Some of these things, it's just so much better. This show would have been so much better to just watch all at once and just marathon it over the span of like
Cameron
2
Kennedy's
hours,
Cameron Kennedy in the YouTube chat, Patreon chat says, I still haven't had interest in going back to it because of that break. And I was the same way, Cameron. I was like kind of salty that Tim was like, oh, Invincible at midnight last night. And I was like, what the, where, how, what? Like it came out of nowhere.
This is one of those shows where I would say like, I think for me, watching it week to week was more of a detriment than if I just binged it all the way through. And I really have that feeling. Like I like the week to week releases of shows. Like I like checking on people like when I come into work or hanging out with friends. But this is one where I was like if you're an Invincible fan, like Invincible season 2 is awesome if you binge through it. Like if you wait and then watch it all the way through. Because there were characters that came through where I'm even Engstrom where I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot you were here.
Yeah.
We just weren't on the same page as a country with Invincible.
Yeah. We just weren't.
But
we needed to build it back better.
But I'm after watching 2 of the episodes, I'm like, God, this show's so good.
It's so good.
It's great.
This show is so incredibly like well thought out, and it's so smart with how it just sort of drip feeds little plot beats to you, and you're like, oh, well, we'll see if we ever get an answer to that. And you probably will, and because they're just really good about framing all these little story moments. It's really, really impressive.
I had the best Saturday night ever. I had a show. I was supposed to have 2 shows, a 7 o'clock and a 9 o'clock. They got consolidated into one and happened to be the earlier show. So we had hella people there. I finished the show, had a great set, was done by like 9 o'clock. I was like, holy crap, it's so early. I have a whole Saturday night. What am I going to do? Caught 1 drink at Cobb's, a little drunk. I was like, I'm going to get 2 pieces of pizza, watch X-Men 97, and then Invincible. And I did both. I did that, and halfway through pizza and halfway through X-Men 97, like, what a great day to be alive. What a great fucking time to be alive. That we have 2 of these incredible shows that are super
almost
just adult.
It's like almost your Saturday morning cartoon type of vibe.
The adult version.
Yeah, it exactly is.
Saturday night vibe.
In fact, I did finish the last episode on Saturday morning because I passed.
I think I did I did something very close to that. Where I think it was for me Thursday and Friday, where I did Invincible and X-Men 97, like catching up all the way, and then also Shogun at the same time. I was 3 episodes behind.
I gotta watch Shogun.
It's so fucking good.
I got caught up because I have a limited amount of time sort of to watch stuff these days. I got really into Tokyo Vice, and that was sort of
I know I need to watch that.
And my brain it's not the same, but it's kind of scratching that the Shogun-esque itch. So I'm like, okay, there's a lot of reading, and I really got to pay attention to this. It's one of those shows you can't get up and walk away. You can't just listen to it because it's all in Japanese.
Yeah.
But that show is fucking brilliant and awesome, and I think it's just done, which is great. So now I'm yearning for a little bit more of like that vibe. So I gotta watch Shogun.
Yeah, Mina Kimes tweeted about it from ESPN. She was like, "No, nobody's talking about Tokyo Vice, and this is like an incredible show. I really, really want to watch it.
It's good."
Yesterday,
he wrote another book. So the guy that wrote Tokyo Vice, just when this wrapped up, he timed another book called Tokyo Noir.
Oh,
and I was like,
that's
"Fuck,
dope.
that's a badass name."
Yesterday, got up bright and early to go play golf.
Oh yeah,
Snowbike Mike Howard and Gary Whitta, and 11 p.m. or 11 a.m. tea time. Beautiful day. One of the most gorgeous days.
It was a beautiful, perfect day.
And
because G and I were having brunch like down the street from where you guys were playing golf.
oh, really?
Yeah.
It was so nice out there in Pacifica. Like the views were gorgeous. It wasn't too windy or too cold. Nice and sunny. The last time we went golfing, we only played the first 9 holes because I was like, I don't know if I got it in me to do another 9.
18
like this
is like a trek.
Well, because the first 9, that last time we did it, they made us walk the course. And I was like, give me a goddamn golf cart. But this time, we only had to walk a couple of them because the course was like super muddy and I fucked up my shoes so badly. But one of the holes near the end of the course, you get like a beautiful scene of the ocean, and it was so gorgeous out there. But it was some of the most abysmal golfing between me, Gary, and Mike.
Was Gary bad, or was it mostly you and Mike?
All of us.
Just awful.
Gary at one point goes, "Fuck this course." And then Mike goes up and, he swings and it's just fucking shit. And the ball's like directly to the left. At one point, the ball goes directly up.
Dude, why is golfing so much harder than it looks?
It is so hard, dude. But like, I've definitely played a lot better, and I think I'm a lot better than what I was yesterday. It was just so abysmal on all accounts.
Everything was slippery.
Well, yeah, the core it did suck where they're like, all right, when you get to hole number 4 through 7, you're gonna have to walk that. So you're gonna have to leave your cart there because like, also the cart has to stay on the path, on the cart path. Usually you can just drive wherever the fuck you want, and it's all chill.
Part, yeah.
But the course was like so wet because of a lot of the storms recently.
Yeah.
And there are areas where I'm walking, and mind you, I have like the white version of these shoes. My just pretty much.
Are those the new ones that you wore like last week?
No. They're just all white. I've had those for a while, but you're walking and you hear like the little squishiness, and you're like, "Oh wow!" And then you just start sinking more.
No,
and these are like running shoes where they're really thin, and I feel my sock getting wet. I'm like, "Oh my god, dude, this sucks." Pull up my white shoe, and it's like the whole bottom half of it is just brown. It's just all mud. It really, really sucked. And that happened for 3 of the holes that we had to walk.
And they're like they're in the front half of it, right?
Yeah, they're in the front 9. So it immediately.
So you have wet socks for the whole back 9.
Now what?
We were out there for 5 fucking hours. It took
Did
so
you take a
long.
lunch break? You go
We
to the club for a sandwich?
we stopped. Mike bought a sandwich. He got one for Gary. He also like got a sandwich for me. I was like, I texted you to
You
tell
don't
me
like
not to get me a
sandwiches.
sandwich.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, that's right. You need sandwiches. So I just ate some Lay's chips.
You just eat the goddamn sandwich. Why can't you just be a friend?
He's got to know.
Andy is very clear that he doesn't like sandwiches.
You got to know that.
What is it with you in this anti-sandwich band?
I'm just-
Why can't you just get onto the sandwich bandwagon?
It's the trauma from having braces and feeling the bread go up my braces, and just I hated that feeling.
very
never-
specific.
Yeah,
And I don't
specific.
want that for me ever again.
Andy, that's horrifying.
Yeah,
like
I don't think I ever
I'm-
knew that. I kind of get it. Yeah.
But you
I
don't have
understand it
braces
now.
anymore.
No, but it just feels gross. It
It's
just
the
always
phantom
felt
pain.
gross.
Have you ever had a Jimmy John sandwich?
How is that any different than
No.
eating a burger?
Jimmy John
though?
sandwich will convince you.
Are those the little tiny ones?
Great
They're
question,
this
Jimmy
big?
John's?
How
No,
big are
they're
Jimmy
they're
John's?
regular sandwich.
They're
I mean,
regular
I guess they're smaller than. Yeah, I guess they're kind of small compared
kinda
to
small,
other
right?
sandwiches.
Like
But they're not
maybe
like mini sandwiches.
No,
They
I'm
do
thinking-
have mini ones. Though.
When you
At
say
Jimmy
mini, I'm
John's?
thinking of like a
Uh-huh.
slider. Like, what do you mean mini?
Look at the Jimmy John. Kevin, can you bring up
Jimmy
Jimmy
John's,
John
they have like
sandwiches
subs.
for me?
but they
But
have
no,
like
okay,
a
it's a
mini
normal
sub.
size sub. I'm
Yeah.
thinking of the wrong thing.
They do have little ones.
Are you thinking of
What am I thinking
was
of?
Firehouse or something like that?
I don't
Firehouse
know.
subs?
I don't really know what I'm thinking of. I just had this sub in my mind that was like a little miniature
like a
version
Little
of that.
John? Is that
Yeah.
what you're thinking?
No.
Little John, the
That's what
$3
it is.
Little
They
John.
used to hand out Little Johns at school. Cause so like I grew up in
See, it's like a little.
Oh, maybe that is what I'm thinking.
I grew up in Champaign, Illinois, where Jimmy John's
Love
is like
that.
headquartered.
Oh.
It's like for some reason I don't know why they're headquartered in Champaign, but because of that, I remember like in high school before the ACTs, like during our trial ACTs, Midwest is our SATs, they would like hand out these little Jimmy John sandwiches as like a fun thing.
You needed it.
We're like, hey, we got
Powered
Jimmy
you
John,
up.
and like everybody in the town hated Jimmy John for some reason.
Really?
Really?
Apparently, he's a really bad person.
Oh
Doesn't
no.
he hunt like wild animals? Like
Oh, he goes on
no.
like African
game
expeditions
hunting.
and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, that sucks. Real quick, I also wanted to bring up. I texted Kevin the prior night of me going golf and was like, "Hey, tomorrow, can I go over and pick up the golf clubs in the morning?" And he was like, "Yeah, if I'm not home, I'll open it. I'll open my garage door remotely."
Wait, you're keeping your golf clubs at Kevin's house?
Well, we split it.
Oh, right. I
Yeah, we
forgot that
split.
was the ones you guys split.
Yeah.
remember you made us take him out of here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're taking up some. They're so
Y'all got
In the
time to
way
share
of
golf
everything.
clubs?
To be fair,
they're in the way of.
Kevin was like,
everything.
"Hey, do you want me to take these out?" I didn't bring it up. I did have to move them 5 times though.
This sounds like a Mike being like, "Should I take off my shoes after I just
Should
stepped
I
in shit
throw
to
my
get in your
shoes
car?"
out?
And or Nick being like, I'm not gonna tell you not to.
All I'm saying, Blessing, is if we reach to the correct decision, does it matter what path we took to get there?
I'm with you.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
It's like, why are you storing your golf clubs
You
here?
store your golf
Yeah,
clubs
you
here
know.
for it.
They're communal.
It's a communal golf
Well,
club.
why don't you just what you be a man, rent an apartment for him in between the two of you, and then you guys can both get
Be a
there.
man.
A little pied a terre, as they say.
I'm not weak-willed like you, okay, Nick? Anyway,
Why are you
so we went to
questioning my constitution?
I just wanted to bring that back up. I love that Kevin could remotely open his garage for me. That was fantastic.
Kevin can
course.
remotely do anything.
And
Kevin can start my car right now, remotely, probably.
so, but then I get there and I'm like, these aren't my golf clubs from home back in Texas. I don't like, there's a couple golf balls here. There's not, I'm used to like having all my shit on me, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, do y'all have golf balls? And Mike was like, oh, I got plenty, homie. Like, I got you. Don't worry about
Did
it.
you have golf balls like at your
No.
house that you could have brought? Or
Yeah, for
oh, okay.
sure. There was about 4 or 5 in the golf bag.
Okay.
And
Because if Mike had said that to me, I'd have been like, Mike is just going to walk into the pro shop and buy overpriced golf balls.
well, here's the thing. I've played golf with Mike several times. And if a ball is shot just like barely off, you're not gonna get the ball, Mike? It's all good. It's all good, homie. Like there's very, very little care to going to go pick up that ball that wasn't even badly shot. It's just a little bit off.
Right.
It's not like way the fuck into the woods where you're like, oof, I'm not even gonna bother looking for that. But there's tons of times where Mike has always been like, don't worry about it. You know, I'll worry. Maybe on the way back we'll see it. It's like you're not gonna find it, right?
Yeah.
But we start losing a lot of golf balls. Like this course is cursed. We're hitting badly, but not only that, we're also losing balls that are like really nicely hit. We're hitting golf balls directly in the fairway. We're like, all right, cool. I saw where it landed. Awesome. And then we get there. We're like, where the fuck is the ball
Just for
at?
10 minutes.
And
Bermuda Triangle
there's a
of
lot
golf
of
courses.
daisies on the course growing, and the white little daisy they're all over the course. You're like, I can't tell what a ball is and what a fucking flower is. We lost a lot of balls that weren't even our fault. Now, we lost way more that were our fault. And I knew that we were getting into troublesome territory when I see Mike looking around for a ball for a while. And I'm like, oh, I think he's out of balls. because usually he's just like, whatever, I'll get it later. But he's like, I see him hunting for these. And I made the illusion that it felt like I was playing a survival horror game where you have to like really look for ammo on the ground and stuff. Like, we were losing golf balls, and he was like, you know what? We'll get some sandwiches after the 9. I'll buy some golf balls. So we bought more golf balls. Kevin, I lost all the ones in the bag, by the way. I'll replenish them.
Those were yours to begin with.
Oh, cool.
I don't have any golf balls.
They're all gone. Like, we lost every one of them. Mike estimates that he lost around 30 golf balls.
30.
Jesus.
Like, isn't there a rule against that?
There's 18.
Losing 30
There
golf
are
balls.
18 holes.
18 holes.
We were fortunate because behind us, we had people walking the course, which was great because they're not going to ever catch up to us.
Yeah.
You know, so
You got
like,
some time.
we'd see him way behind there. We're like, oh, we got plenty of time. Go ahead and hit another one. You hit that one badly. You lost that ball. Go ahead and hit another one. We lost a lot of golf balls that were just like, we kept on topping them. I took a slow motion video of Mike's golf club hitting the golf ball. And it's like, you see the golf club coming through and it just like hits the top of the ball perfectly and it goes down immediately. I'm like, that's why we're so bad right now. We're so like, we're not keeping our heads down or whatever. It was just an abysmal display of golf, Kevin.
Andy,
Yeah.
did you lose any more of the golf club socks?
No, kept all those.
Okay.
I knew to
found the missing one.
make sure
You've
of that.
been losing them?
Well, the things that like covered the head
Yeah.
covers. I lost one of them.
It's to
Got
keep them
it.
warm.
Kevin let me
You don't
know.
want a cold golf club going.
Yeah.
I'd like to imagine that
And
Nick
then it's the bottom
stole
part of the
it.
golf club that you want to keep warm.
Absolutely. Yeah, you want the top.
They get
You want the
chilly.
one that hits the
Yeah.
ball because you want there to be a temperature differential between those.
At what point do you quit? Or like, is this a thing where you guys are committed, or are you having fun while doing this?
Oh, well, like golf, like it's very hard to be good. It's very hard to be decent. And what everybody who's ever golfed it will tell you is like, if you hit one good shot, you think about that shit the rest of the fucking month, the rest of the goddamn year.
Yep.
And that brings you back.
I feel that because like
Did you hit-
for our soccer season last league, we scored like 2.5 goals. And we got scored on like 30 times, and that shit still like when we scored that goal, it felt
You
great.
think about it, yeah.
Yeah.
Like we hit a lot of terrible shots, a couple of decent ones, and a couple of really fucking good. Like when I was getting a hold of them, I was like, I had several moments where I'm like, that's the best shot of the fucking day, and those just feel good. Gary had a birdie putt that he nailed. Like he got on the green in 2 shots, which is crazy because it was a long. We're like, dude, you landed on the green. He was like, you fucking kidding me? That landed on the green? Holy shit. And then he putted and nailed it. And it was like a 30-foot putt. He was like, are you fucking kidding me? And we were like, let's go. Like it made the whole fucking, it was
awesome.
amazing. Yeah.
I'm still riding high from the one and only time I've
You
gone
went great.
golfing.
Yeah, you were great.
I had a great time. And I'm also, it's funny because I was like, just wasn't really doing anything on Saturday or Sunday.
Oh, really?
during the
On
day.
Sunday?
Was it Sunday? You went?
Yeah, it was Sunday.
That
Yeah.
was the day I did nothing, literally. So
Oh, man.
Yeah, Andy,
That's
me-
unfortunate.
me
You didn't go?
neither,
cool
you
to
know?
check my.
This whole time I
my-
thought Nick was there.
No. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break to tell you about our sponsors real quick.
This episode is brought to you by Factor. Eat stress-free this spring with Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals. A ton of us here at Kinda Funny have been so thankful for Factor since we've been in the new studio, and you can too. Every fresh, never frozen meal is chef-crafted, dietitian-approved, and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. Choose from a weekly menu of 35 options, including popular options like Calorie Smart, Keto, Protein Plus, or Vegan and Veggie. Also, discover more than 60 add-ons every week like breakfast, on-the-go lunch, snacks, and beverages to help you stay fueled and feel good all day long. What are you waiting for? Get started today and fuel up your springtime goals. Get chef-prepared meals on the table in 2 minutes with Factor's ready-to-eat meals so you can get back to doing what you love this spring. Head to factormeals.com/kindafunny50 and use code kindafunny50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next box. That's code kindafunny50 at factormeals.com/kindafunny50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next box while your subscription is active. This episode is brought to you by Dragon's Dogma 2. Dragon's Dogma 2 is the highly anticipated action RPG successor to the cult classic Dragon's Dogma, released in 2012. Dragon's Dogma 2 boasts a richly detailed and deeply explorable fantasy world created using immersive physics, character AI, and the latest in graphics from Capcom's RE engine. This single-player action RPG challenges players to use their creativity and curiosity to shape their own experience. The world of Dragon's Dogma 2 revolves around choice. Both your party of pawns and enemies alike will react dynamically to your actions on the battlefield, whether you cling to the backs of monsters or seek to dispatch them from afar. Whether you like melee combat, shooting bows and spells, scaling enormous monsters, or using your environment to your advantage, Dragon's Dogma 2 has something for you. And the character creator is easy to use with a ton of customizability to get as creative as you want. So go to dragonsdogma.com to buy the game and start your epic quest today. This episode is brought to you by Robinhood. Did you know that even if you have a 401k for retirement, you can still have an IRA? Robinhood has the only IRA that gives you a 3% boost on every dollar you contribute when you subscribe to Robinhood Gold. But get this, now through April 30th, Robinhood is even boosting every single dollar you transfer in from other retirement accounts with a 3% match. That's right, no cap on the 3% match. Robinhood Gold gets you the most for your retirement thanks to their IRA with a 3% match. This offer is good through April 30th. Get started at robinhood.com/boost. Subscription fees apply. And now for some legal info. Claim as of Q1 2024 validated by Radius Global Market Research. Investing involves risk including loss. Limitations apply to IRAs and 401ks. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold for 1 year from the date of first 3% match. Must keep Robinhood IRA for 5 years. The 3% matching on transfers is subject to specific terms and conditions. Robinhood IRA available to U.S. customers in good standing. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, is a registered broker-dealer.
All right, we're back. This is the question I want to know. Because I am, as much as I feel like I know Gary Whitta, I don't know anything about Gary Whitta. What is it like spending 5 straight hours with Gary Whitta?
I'll tell you what, it was nice. I was duoing in the golf cart with him the whole time.
So Mike was soloing back in the other golf cart?
Yeah, we had made a plan to like switch
Mike
off,
lone
and we just
wolfing?
never did.
Yeah, that's
Checks
oh, you guys, you take the controller. You
That's
take the-
exactly what it was. No, that's exactly what
I know,
it was.
I know.
It was Gary being like, I'll drive the cart and you two go together. And then Mike was like, no, you two go together. You two.
Can we start? You put a pin in this for a second.
Okay.
Because I want to do a little tangent right now. Mike, Monday, was it Monday? When did we play Call of Duty?
Monday.
It was Wednesday. No,
When's on stream?
on stream.
Wednesday.
At night. Doesn't matter.
Oh,
Over the weekend.
Friday.
It's Friday. Come home. Mike, I want to play some Call of Duty with you. We got the Jabroni boys together. We're going to have a great time. Mike goes, cool. I'm going to start streaming. I was like, okay, that's great. We play one game on stream. Andy joins. Mike immediately passes the controller to Andy to play and then disappears and just shoutcasts us for like 45 minutes. And I'm like, I don't even know if we're live anymore. I don't know what's happening. I have no context as to how long this is lasting anymore. And it was just a massacre the entire time.
I was so salty, Nick. I was so
know
salty.
you were.
Because here's the thing. I was streaming Super Mario Sunshine.
Mm.
And I'm having it's great content. It's a game that I'm having a fucking awful time with, but it's like I'm having fun struggling with it, right? And a lot of people are coming to my chat being like, Andy, Mike and Nick are on. You go play Call of Duty with them. Go play. And I was like, all right, I'm playing this. Let me play this for a little bit more. And I was like, all right, I'll stop playing this early to go play with them. I get there, and Mike's already not there. And Chris Anka is like, yeah, I offered to have him take you all to leave the party so the kind of funny people could play because it was me.
Get the squad.
It was me, Nick, Raj, and it would have been Mike. But Mike was like, no, I'll shoutcast. So he watched my stream and shoutcasted over my stream the whole time. And it's like, and in my mind, I'm like, well, I stopped playing Super Mario Sunshine to come play with you guys. And you're not here already. I was so salty.
We played the first game. It was me. I think it was me, Roger, Mike, and Chris.
He did a great job shoutcasting, by the way.
Won because Mike is a great captain. And there's no disrespect to the rest of us. Just Mike, when Mike's in his Duffy, He's great. So I'm thinking, wow, we're gonna ride this high. And Mike's like, fantastic, and then immediately bails for the next hour. None of us are having a good time. We all want out of this.
Yeah.
We don't want to say it because we're on stream, but I'm like, I'm about to text Andy like, yo, I'm gonna bounce. Like, this is not fun. No disrespect to anyone. We're just not gelling as a team right
Yeah.
now. And I feel like it's an uphill battle. Mike ends the stream, and then we play the original squad, me, Mike, and Chris, I think. And then I think Kevin SpaceX came for another 3 hours and just had a blast. It was like top 3, top 2, top 4, and then we finally won one. But I'm like, Mike, you gotta like, if you're gonna be there, you gotta be there. Sorry. Anyway, to go back to it, talk to me about Gary Wood.
Yeah, it was just Gary and I in the golf cart talking about life, talking about love, talking about, he's like, yeah, I used to live here. I used to live in Pacifica several years ago. Tell me about that. I felt like we were podcasting almost.
Yeah.
It was a great little. We formed a bond after all these years that I've known him.
Mm-hmm.
I'd never ever fully sat down with him in a solo situation to just talk about anything and everything.
That's why it's so interesting. And I think about this often, right? Because a lot of my social life is still business, like it's comedy.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't really do anything just for fun anymore. So when you guys go golfing, I'm like, what's that like? Just go do something for fun on a Sunday and not have anything else to do. Must be fun.
It was a great time. I mean, look, no joke. We want to get Kevin out there. Kevin's our on priority over you, Nick.
But why
I
didn't
see
you
no-
ever reach
there's no-
out?
that's totally-
When you said, "Oh, I'm gonna pick up the golf clubs," I was like, "Oh, I guess they're gonna go play."
Well, because I anytime that we have invited you, you're like, I'm not ready yet.
Oh, I'm there. I'm ready.
But now that we've talked, like Gary Wood was like, we got to get Kevin out here. I was like, yeah, we actually do.
It makes me good that he said that. It makes me feel real good.
Yeah. So like,
You can't trust Andy.
because here's the thing, Kevin is like, I'm not ready for it yet. This is a while back though, and before Kevin was going to the driving range often, and he'd often be like, I'm not ready. I'm like, you're never ready. It's like being a parent, Kevin. You're never ready.
Yep.
Right. You're
going raw
always
dog.
gonna suck. You're gonna
Yeah,
drop
raw
that
dog.
baby on the floor every once in a while.
Yeah, fuck it, they bounce.
You're always
It's an
gonna
inevitability.
You're always gonna suck. You're always gonna be shanking the last hole, man. It's just like
I thought we were still talking about the baby.
no,
I was like, you be doing what?
no. The 18th hole, just Mike like shaking it immediately to the right. I was like, oh, I gotta go again. And again, he's a lefty, so he goes again, goes directly up in there. He's like, fucking shit, man. We're just it was such a bad time, man. But it was a great time,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because
Like-
you guys were together hanging
Is it
out.
like pizza? When it's bad, it's still good.
Except I always have the beef with like school pizzas.
What?
The school pizzas.
Okay, are
There's
you
like
talking
no
about?
nostalgia for the school pizza.
The ones you get for the ones that are like
You're talking about
little
the wax
shitty,
school.
like,
I know.
French
right.
rectangle
No, you're
type
right.
of-
You're right.
yeah.
So my school at
Let's not
times
talk
would get
shit
like
about French bread pizza.
you get like one slice of Domino's
Oh,
every
no.
Friday.
I mean, come on.
But then
that
I do know
was-
the school pizza you're talking about. And that shit was.
Did your
booty.
school ever adopt like the Pizza Hut formula
In what way?
like for book it?
because here I don't even know if it may have just been.
Ugh, look at that.
It's awful, dude.
Gross.
School
Oh, I've
pizza
never had
fucking
that.
sucks
It's so
so
terrible.
bad.
This is Garbo.
That's like
tough.
made in
It's
the
real
that's
tough.
like made in the cafeteria pizza.
This is
Yeah.
like the only pizza that I would say is like atrocious, and I don't want that ever.
Because you know why it
I
was?
still take
It's
it.
like the cafeteria was like Taco Bell. Well, you know how Taco Bell only has really like 4 ingredients and everything's
they-
just a variation of that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
The school pizza was like the same ingredients that went into the mashed potatoes. You're like, what the fuck are we doing
It's
here?
terrible.
Yeah, that
Powdered,
was
gross
leftover
shit.
sauce from the pasta.
Yeah, it's so
and the
bad.
cheese and all
So
that stuff.
in high school, there was like a year that the pizzas changed, and they were like
Whoa.
thin crust now. And I don't know who started. It may not have been a rumor, may have been true. I don't know, but we're like, oh shit, they're now using like Pizza Hut's kind of like stuff and formula to make this new pizza.
Oh,
And it changed. And I don't know if that was like a national thing, but we were no longer getting the shitty, sloppy fucking. Well, we say wango. Wango means like it's just like floppy and gross, like not toasty. Yeah.
pizza.
Is that where your requirement for extra toasty things comes from? Because you suffered through so much shitty.
No,
floppy
I think that
pizza?
was just my parents always loved the extra toasty shit,
Yeah.
but that certainly didn't help. That I'm like, this is the opposite
shit
of whatever.
sucks.
This shit
Yeah.
was just microwaved. You know what I mean? It's like the ugliest kind of limp bread ever.
I don't mean to talk shit about your high school experience, but you had some weak ass pizza game at your high school because I'm with Blessing. We had every day was Pizza Hut.
Oh, well,
you could just go to the truck.
we eventually got that, and
and
then
they would just get Pizza Hut. They would literally have
was a
Pizza Hut
truck.
pizzas delivered, and you'd go to the truck. Yeah, there would be like a food truck.
pay $1.
Okay, that's way fancier than what
There
I
was
had.
a there was
$1,
a
get it.
cafeteria, and then there was also it was like $1.25 was per slice at Pizza Hut.
We didn't have
Oh,
a
okay,
truck.
yeah, we had something similar to that.
We had like the cheerleading club or the
1986.
whatever club, and they always had a long ass table, and they would sell slices per $1.
See, for us in elementary school, it was one slice of Papa John's that you would get during lunchtime, which is cool. And then in high school,
For free?
For free. Well, for like if you had like the school lunch.
Oh,
But then in high school, they did have like they sold pizza for like $2 a slice, and then
Yeah.
also they had Bosco sticks, which are like these girthy cheese sticks.
Why
With-
did you have to
you
use
didn't
the
have
word
to say girthy.
girthy?
Yeah.
But there's no other way to describe it.
It's a
They were
perfect
girthy.
description.
Um,
Were they moist?
On the inside, yeah,
Jesus Christ.
and they were really greasy. They would fuck up my
You're
stomach.
not allowed to say Jesus Christ because you had a leading question.
That's so true. That's me. That's me
Bosco's-
going
these are
down
the,
to
these are the
the.
Bosco sticks.
that looks like a
the pits with
burrito.
it. It looks like a
Yeah, that's what I'm
It's
saying.
like a
They're
chicken
girthy.
bake without the chicken.
looks good as fuck. I'm not gonna lie.
So they
would
just-
Yeah,
fuck
no,
that
it was
up right
fucking
now.
good.
So it's a breadstick.
Breadstick with that was cheese filled, yeah,
Easy breadstick.
Mm.
but they're
So-
like really thick.
What differentiates that between like a mozzarella fry?
There's
Like,
well, mozzarella is breading and
Breading,
fried. This
okay.
is like a little bread
And that one's
with
deep
mozzarella
fried
in
and
the
this is
middle of it.
baked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. That looks amazing right there.
I just
But it fucked up my stomach because like for a good percentage of high school, I never realized that I was lactose intolerant.
Oh,
That was
And
worse.
I could never figure out for the life of me why after lunch period I'd be sitting in English class and, and I'm like, oh man, I just don't feel
Got
good.
the bumblies.
And like that was coupled with I would also drink a glass of milk every single morning before school.
oh,
Perfect. Good
And
for
so
your
like
bones. Good
after
calcium.
a while, I was just like, yeah, I'm just not long for this world. Like my stomach just hurts every single day. I don't understand why. Until one day I didn't have a glass of milk and I was like, oh, I actually feel good.
Yeah.
I actually feel better.
man, we were really, as a country, campaigning for kids to drink milk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Oh, yeah.
Like that's crazy
I
to
drank
think
so
about.
much milk because of those commercials.
It's such a psyop, bro. Like,
Got milk
Yeah.
works.
It's a
you know?
big industry, right? That's a real thing. Like
I thought I
milk
was gonna get taller. And that my teeth were gonna get stronger.
Well, you know
And
that
neither of those things happened.
I've been breaking my teeth ever since.
there's the school of thought that like you're not really supposed to drink milk as an adult. Like you don't really need it. Like milk is something that's supposed to be like. I mean, Kevin can probably
It's like a
fill me in.
developmental thing.
That's a
right?
developmental thing, right? You're only supposed to have milk up until a certain point, and then your body doesn't really need it anymore. Which is why, yeah, it's like like when you think of like animals, right? They feed off of their mother, they feed the milk, but then at a certain point they go, no, we don't need that anymore, and they never go back to that. We are
Sure.
the only
Wow.
we're only the only mammal that's like, you know what I go for? A glass of the thing that I need only when I'm a baby, which is weird. But I think it's pushed largely by like the milk industry because it's a huge
Yeah.
industry and they need to make money.
Did the government not also push that too? Because
Yeah,
I could have
that's-
sworn like Michelle Obama
Yeah.
was like, "Yo, you should be drinking
I'd see
milk."
Michael Jordan with a
Sorry,
milk
Kev,
mustache.
can you zoom in a little bit more on this? My old ass eyes can't see this. It says drinking milk regularly can help maintain muscles and preserve bone strength to lower your risk for fractures and osteoporosis. That's just calcium. Though.
That's the American dairy.
Dairy, oh,
Sorry.
sure.
Oh, the American.
the
Association.
American Dairy Association.
Yeah. What's funny
So they're
is
still
That's
pushing
awesome.
it.
milk,
Yeah.
is,
American
milk
dairy-
is
The
good.
big dairy agenda.
Look at how fucked up that is, right? That's called the American Dairy
I've also not broken a
Association,
bone
right?
though.
The American Dairy Association sounds like such an official government organization,
No.
and it's probably just a bunch of dudes.
Just
who
a
are like-
lobbying
Yeah, it's
group.
just a lobbying group. Who's your
Yeah, even the
bones?
logo in the top left of that website looks like it's supposed to be government.
Yeah, that's like real. I mean, don't get me wrong. Listen, milk and cookies, milk and
Oh,
cereal.
fire.
I'll fucking fuck that up. But I'm not that lactose intolerant. But even if I eat like anything that's like heavy cream or heavy dairy, it still messes my stomach up. I'm not supposed to have it. Now cheese, you get the fuck out of here if you try to take my cheese away from me.
See, that's where
okay.
I'm at. I had Square Pie Guys this weekend.
Mm.
They even had the lactate.
Oh,
Left
man.
alone.
You just went in raw.
Just
I just
raw
yeah, went in raw.
Here's what honestly happened to me last week.
I love cheese so much.
I had taken, I had a work from home day and woke up 4 a.m, the worst stomach cramps. My stomach feels like it's just tied in knots. Like, and I don't feel like it's not one of those like, oh, I'm about to throw up or, oh, I'm going to have to go to the restroom. This is an emergency. It's just like, this hurts so badly. And then I realized I went a little too hard on the drumsticks ice cream.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. It
Not
was
What does
worth
that mean?
You had too
went
many
too
drumsticks.
I
hard.
had 2 in one day.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like usually one, I don't think I'm like the most lactose intolerant.
Mm-hmm.
I think I can, eat like, half of a Ben and Jerry thing, little tiny pint or whatever, and be totally fine with it.
Mm-hmm.
But like there's a threshold that I still haven't fully figured out. And I always talk about the time where me and Kevin went to 31st Amendment. What's that? 21st Amendment. Where me, Kevin...
31st Amendment is just the right to skateboard.
up to a certain age.
Yeah.
Where me, Greg, and Kevin went after some game that we saw, and then we ate a 21st Amendment, and we got mozzarella little fried cheese.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And normally I can house a fuckload of mozzarella breadsticks or cheese sticks and be totally fine. But like the quality and the realness of the cheese was so like legit from this spot that me and Kevin were going off on this restroom. We were.
It was bad.
It was a really, really bad
day.
situation. And
Wait, the quality was good or not good?
it's like I think when the
Who's to
cheese
know?
is like
Who's to know?
supernatural and not supernatural like ghosts.
It jumps out at you.
Scary.
I think when the cheese is like not super
Like
fucking
no
artificial
preservatives or
type
whatever
shit,
it is,
yeah.
sure.
When it's like that, I'm
I used to
usually
really put
okay. But when
preservatives in
it's like legit,
Super
real,
artificial.
good
Yeah, like
stuff,
this just came from the cow.
yeah, like that's where it really, really gets me. And so that work from home day ended up being that like I had too much dairy. I had way too much dairy. I was like needing to go to the restroom eventually after several hours later. And the whole day I was like so close to texting like Greg and Tim and you and being like, hey, I know I'm supposed to like work from home today. I can't even get out of the bed. Like if I wasn't scrunched up, my body hurt. It was just a real bad time.
You gotta be
dude.
careful with that, dude.
Yeah. But then yesterday I had two and I was okay.
And you're fine.
Are you just buying these just cause? Just
Or
like
do you buy like a box?
I bought the box.
You gotta buy a
Okay.
box.
How
So think about the
how many
drumsticks. Is this-
treats are we buying when we're going grocery shopping?
How many treats?
Yeah, like
I-
when you guys? Yeah, go for it.
I buy one treat
What's that?
usually. It's whatever my wife wants because she's really into the sweet treats, and I just like to piggyback on top of that. I don't really like sweet stuff. So recently we go to Trader Joe's every Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, and one or the other. And she gets the big tub of chocolate covered almonds. And I have such a bone to pick with these fucking almonds
Why?
because they are a mixture of milk chocolate covered almonds and dark chocolate covered almonds.
You can't
And when
mix
you
those.
eat them at
That's-
night when you are drunk, you think you're fucking losing your sense of taste. Because you'll have one that's so good and salt and sugary and like milky, and then you eat the next one and it's dark chocolate, it's bitter. You're like, what the fuck happened to this batch?
Dark chocolate is
That's
like
upsetting.
the IPA of chocolate.
Hey, get
Yeah,
out of here with
100%.
it. I hate it.
Yeah.
It's dumb.
Well, what are you
I
getting?
Dude, I like me some dark chocolate. I don't often get treats. I think actually no, that's a lie. I'll do I'll do like one small pack of like Ruffles, Flamin' Hot Ruffles, or like a Flamin' Hot
Oh,
fries.
Sure.
I
But I don't really go beyond that. Like I'm not getting ice cream unless it's like a really special occasion. Unless it's like a Friday night and I'm like, yo, fuck it. You know, I'm like
Yeah.
we're reviewing a big game and I'm like, yo, I'm just gonna
You're
fucking
deep in
like
it.
be like gaming all night and like doing something like that.
So
I've been a lot more because I never really used to just get ice cream for the fuck of it, but it was really I ended up getting drumsticks. I was like, oh man, I remember like drumsticks are awesome. I don't know why I don't get these more. And then I discovered the Nestle Crunch drumsticks, where they're not the ones that are covered in little peanuts, like crushed peanuts all around it.
I love
They
those.
are just like it's a
Oh, like
chocolate-
a crackly chocolate.
it's a chocolate shell of like the Nestle Crunch bar,
Oh, that sounds bomb.
and it is fucking phenomenal, dude.
Here's my one issue with the drumsticks, though, is the actual ice cream itself in the drumstick it doesn't taste very good. It's everything around it.
I think you'd be surprised.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Last
think-
time I had one, it was very lackluster.
Do you get this ones with the stuff on the inside or no?
No, I just get the straight up drumstick, which is like
The one with the caramel inside is fantastic.
The caramel one is so good.
maybe I need to start doing those.
But I think the vanilla ice cream itself is
love it.
pretty good.
yeah, it's kind of bland. I guess it's probably because I discovered very late in life Ben and Jerry's.
Oh,
And
I'm
Ben and
with
Jerry's
you.
fucking rocks.
Yeah,
like
it's only in the last probably like 10 years that I've had Ben and Jerry's.
I was always a 31 flavors guy because my brother worked there all throughout high school.
That was me. I used to work at Cold Stone, so that was my go-to.
That's your thing. That's your jam. And then, Ben and Jerry's is just the only place in liquor stores stock that in San Francisco. So I'm like, I'll try this particular, whatever. It's got like chocolate chip cookies, fudge, a car battery, fucking 900 things in
bears.
there. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then also pretzels. And you're like, pretzels, that's odd. And then it's got that crunch.
I'm
I'm just thinking about. We had opened up a show one time where Greg was like asking me to do impressions, and he was like, "Do do Stone Cold working at a Cold Stone. I was like, get to the back of the line because Cold Stone said so.
That's
Oh my
really
God.
It was a great time. It was a good
really
episode.
I now will like do grocery order for pickup because I can't be trusted to just wander around a grocery store.
No.
That's when I get like a
Terrible.
bunch of shit in my cart that I'm like, do I need? Well, I get home, I'm like, why did I buy this?
That's when you wind up with 24 cupcakes.
Yeah.
Like, why do I need this?
I don't. So I now all of my fun treats come from Costco, which is a pro and a con because the quantities are like wild. But I now like get all the fun stuff to make like a fun little trail mix. So it feels like there's a little bit more balance.
You make your own trail mix.
Yeah, it's usually like peanut butter pretzels, cashews, and like those chocolate
Love cashews.
acai blueberry little
Oh, yeah.
chocolate things there. And then I've been on the grape train, like
Dude.
blessing, though I don't usually eat the whole bag in one go.
Whatever
thing in the
grapes that
freezer.
Mike got recently for one of our streams, I'm not sure where they're from. I gotta ask them where they're because they were like legitimately the best grapes I've ever tasted.
Safeway grapes have been popping off lately. I will say that.
And
I don't
I
know if
saw
Mike and
Madeline
go to the same
Stanley.
Safeway.
Madeline Stanley in chat said that grapes are just insanely expensive right now.
Are
Do
they?
you-
I've not noticed that.
Can I ask a question? Kind of
Yeah.
a gross question. I don't want to out anyone right now.
Mm.
Do you try the grape before you buy the grape?
No,
Are you trying before you buy?
because I want to rinse it before I eat it.
You don't
No,
and then try it? How do you know if it's sweet? How do you know
I
if the-
I
will.
just have trust in it.
You just
I
look at
usually
it.
do. We'll
Really?
try one because I want like a crunchy bunch.
Yeah, I
you
don't
know?
want to.
I feel like eating a singular unwashed grape is not gonna like
Good for
kill
your
me.
immune system.
I do that with the apples. I just take a little bite.
See, the thing that fucked me up is growing up, I'm snitching on my mother, but my mom would straight up just like eat a whole thing of like Cheetos in the store. Like, like
Just open the bag and rock?
Yeah, she'll be
Good
like
for her.
halfway through the bag before checking out. And I for some reason just couldn't stand it as a kid. I was like,
she's
this
still,
is
but she's still paying for the bag when she checks out.
yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like at this point, looking
Were
back,
you
I'm like, I don't
annoyed in
know.
like a don't? Why are you doing
Like
this in the store?
embarrassing kind of way.
Yeah, like just
That's
why are
so
you doing
funny.
this? Like you've not paid for it. Why are we halfway? It was actually, I think it was plantain chips. Actually, she'd be like most of the bag way through plantain
Love
chips.
plantain chips.
And I'm like, why are we doing this? Like, pay for it first and then eat. Like, you can't wait until you get to that out of the store.
I mean, as long as she buys the bag, you know.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say? See, that's a different vibe in San Francisco, though, because there's a lot of people that go into Safeways in San Francisco, open up shit, eat it, and then leave,
Yeah, that's true.
and you're like, oof, that's yeah, that would be a different one there.
I will say that I think I'm desensitized to that because so many of my friends have kids and we've gone grocery shopping and the kid's like freaking out and she's just like, fuck it, grabs something off the thing, opens it, and then the kid's fine for the rest of the thing. So I think I've softened on that in my adult age.
Oh my god, have you seen? I saw the stupidest meme. It's been used before, but it's the speech from Terminator, and it's like what it's like having kids, and he's like, it never sleeps, it never stops, it can't be bargained with, it can't be reasoned with, and it absolutely will not stop until it kills you. It's like what it's like having kids. All right,
so
folks,
funny.
one final question for you guys today before we round this out. This comes from me actually. Have y'all been following this lunar eclipse thing going on?
I was
Are we
just
excited about this?
Telling,
It already
well, it already
happened.
happened
Why didn't we get it?
because we're not in the path
We're in
of
the West
like
Coast.
totality.
Why does
essentially,
Texas get everything good?
No, we should have been able to see it.
yeah.
If you looked at the sun
At
at
a
like
very
11,
specific time.
Yeah, it's 25% of it covered.
But there's a path in the United States where it like fully covered it, and those where all the dope pictures are coming from.
Yeah.
That sucks.
That's where there was like a flight on the way to Arkansas where the captain was like, how many people are here for the eclipse are flying on this flight to get a better look at the eclipse? And like 90% of the flight had their hands up. And it was like this one lady several rows back looking like, what
She's
the
like,
fuck?
what the hell did I miss?
Yeah.
I would be if I was on an airplane during an eclipse, I would
Oh,
be
I saw
so
a video
scared.
of that. It
Be
looked
terrified.
cool.
I would be so scared that I'd land and like it would be zombies.
There was
You know
there
what I mean? Like,
was
it's the
a
stand or
contingent
something.
of the United States that was like, "This is the rapture."
Well, that's my big question for everyone.
This
is like,
is what it was in Buffalo, a time lapse of it, which I think was like in the path of it.
Jesus.
That's
But isn't
Wow.
that so
Awesome.
dope? I had FOMO. I was like, "Oh, California."
I saw somebody tweet out, was it like Thursday or Friday when there was the earthquake in New York, and somebody was like, "Oh man, this is crazy. Even crazier if like the sun got blurred out or something right now. If the sun got blocked out."
oh man.
Yeah,
I saw-
I don't know much. Like, I know that what the last time this happened was when Trump looked up at
Yeah,
it,
this
you
was
know?
like not that long ago.
Well, there's always like a half eclipse or something like that happening, like, right? Well, how often does the lunar eclipse happen?
There's one eclipse typically that goes over like an area in the world once a year, but it's not typically in the United States. And when it is, it's kind of a bigger deal, right?
I have a business proposition for all of us.
Yeah.
And Kevin, I'm gonna need you to lead this project.
Eclipse chasers.
Similar, but the next time that there's an eclipse, we try to make the coolest looking eclipse glasses.
It's not possible.
Mm.
Have you
There's
seen
like a
these
lot
eclipse
of science
glasses?
that has to go into the eclipse glasses of like being safe to use.
Well, we could.
It's a lot of liability. We're
Joe, we
taking
could play it
on.
by ear. Like I think we could just kind of
Okay, I
You know.
volunteer not to be on the testing team.
like
My,
just get a transparent thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do have some bad news for you.
Yeah.
What's up?
The next eclipse over the United States is in August 12th, 2045.
What? But when's the next eclipse?
Oh.
Like, we can market to the area. We can do Facebook ads in the area that the eclipse is happening. So where's the next one happening? Is it Scandinavia? We'll hire an outsourced team, right, to like do the translation. What do they call it? The localization.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll get the cool, like,
Buy
make
these
it all
glasses.
like slick, cool looking glasses.
Buy
I'm down
these.
for this.
Buy these glasses. We could make those things for cheap. Sell them in mass.
Well, that's what I mean. How much do these things? They're like cardboard boxes with like a little mirror, right?
Yeah.
My
I don't know.
my
Actually,
in-laws are retired, and this is my wife's mother and father, and they drove her grandmother, her Oma, down to Texas to catch this,
Oh.
and because they live close by, but they drove, and this is what you do when you're retired. They sent pictures, and they're both like outside wearing these glasses, looking hilarious and having fun, and then in the background is just my wife's grandmother. Didn't bother getting out of the car. Just wearing the glasses, just chilling in the car.
That's awesome. I saw somewhere
So funny.
online that eclipses are kind of just like a big coincidence.
Huge.
Like hundreds or thousands of years from now, like eclipses are just not going to happen anymore because of the way that the sun and the moon are positioned. Like we just happen to live in a point in time where
Oh.
eclipses are happening, but like just a weird coincidence.
I think it's like 400,000 years. But yeah, like right now,
I've seen like 5 of them.
the distance. Well, yeah, like I said, one of them happens somewhere around the world every year because it's all very coincidental stuff of like Earth is at a slight angle, right? 23 degrees. And like the moon is at an angle to Earth. And like the moon happens to be the same distance from, what is it?
The sun or Earth.
Yeah, it's so its distance
size
is,
relativity, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
is relative.
So it can actually cover it.
Yeah, or it covers it perfectly.
Yeah.
And it's something like the sun is 300 times further away, but the moon is 300 times smaller than the sun, or something like that.
Yeah.
It's
I
more than
wonder,
that,
is there
yeah.
anything else lunar that happened like 2,000 years ago that's cooler? Like at one point, the sun just changed colors, and we just don't get that anymore. Something cool like that.
That'd be
Mm.
way cooler.
That'd be rad, right? It was like a
I
red
was gonna make a
sun.
biblical joke.
Well, that's my other thing. That's my
Jesus
other
died on the
question is like, how do there's got to be a bunch of conspiracy theories, right? Like, what do the flat earthers think about these eclipses?
That is the great question.
Are they pro eclipse?
This is a big projector
this-
from the government.
What's that?
It's a big projector made by the government.
That's the thing, right? It's like, if you're a flat earther, and I know we've got some in chat.
Do we? No,
I mean, we got Madeline Stanley's in chat. So, no, I'm kidding. How do they rationalize this? You can see that there's like circles passing in front of each other, right?
They think it's all
It's
like
all-
projectors in space and like lights
Yeah.
and like effects.
That's
being-
insane.
Yeah.
I
Because
kinda
my
buy that.
my question was always like
Kind of,
Oh,
I
no.
hate you, Nick.
my
I
question
hate
was
you.
always, do they think there's a space? Like I never know what the
Yeah.
like up to what thing is it that you believe? Because every once in a while I'll be shocked when the flat earther is like, oh no, yeah, we had somebody walk on the moon. I'm like, oh, I didn't.
But the moon's flat.
I
Yeah.
saw the funniest tweet today, which was the Jets posted a picture of Aaron Rodgers with sunglasses on and says "Eclipse ready," and one of the comments was like, "There's no way he believes in the moon."
yeah.
That's exactly what I think.
Someone in the chat
There's no
earlier
way he
when we
thinks-
were talking about Shailene Woodley, because who I believe was married to him, right?
Yeah.
was calling him Q Aaron.
Yeah, Q around. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so
QAnon
fucking
Q.
funny.
I think that's when he
It's
got enough,
so funny.
or when he was like arguing with Travis Kelce. I think is when that and Dr. Fauci
Yeah.
is when that popped up.
That's when he called him Captain.
Pfizer,
Yeah.
something like
Called him
that.
Captain Pfizer, and then he was like, "Oh well, you play for the Jets, and the owners are Woody Johnson Company." So it was like just very, very odd.
Yeah.
God, I wish I was deeper in that, Duffy. I want to know what all the conspiracy theories are. I'm fascinated by conspiracy theories, not because I believe in them. I'm fascinated that people believe in them and why they believe in them and the lengths that they will go to.
Do you not believe in any conspiracy theory?
Well, there have been conspiracies that have been proven, right? Like there are conspiracies, so therefore some conspiracy theories are probably valid using a scientific method. You can say that, of course there are.
There was a good 6 months where I was convinced that Jay-Z was in the Illuminati. Like convinced.
Well, everyone knows that's true.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I feel
think
like
Puff Daddy might be out of it now, though.
Yeah, no, Puff Daddy.
I think he might be out.
Yeah.
I feel like the Kate Middleton stuff that happened earlier this year was the first time that I could see people falling down the conspiracy theory like rabbit hole at an alarming rate, being like, oh, there's really nothing that could really be put out that like would convince them that this isn't being faked in some direction. Whether or not that's true, I have no idea.
But that was a conspiracy.
Yeah.
Not a conspiracy in like an insidious great government thing. It was a
something being
conspiracy
covered up.
to hide something that Kate Middleton rightfully, now that we know.
But people are still pulling apart her video and trying to like do things, and it's crazy.
So every time that happens, it fuels the fire of lesser valid or completely invalid conspiracy theories like flat Earth and things like that. So yeah, it's always trippy, but I'm fascinated by that sort of like cult mentality buy-in. And then of course with Kate Middleton, you can't help but be like, what is the deal behind this? Like there's something going on. No one's telling us.
It's the Streisand effect of like the more you pretend nothing's happening.
And there's also just so many different pockets. There's so many pockets of groups of conspiracy theorists that also war with each other, which is amazing. Like when Biden won and became president, you'd see some people go, he stole the election, and then other people go, just you wait and see. Trump's still the president.
Oh yeah.
And so I was like, so wait,
say that again. He thinks that Trump is still the president.
Well, yeah, there were several groups of people that were like, okay, yeah, he may have, Biden won, sure, but Trump is really still the president.
Are those people?
He's still controlling everything.
Are those people
and
the same
JFK's
people?
coming back.
Yeah.
To, like all of these weird connection things.
Are they the same people, or are they a warring group of the people that think that Obama is still president and just pulling all the strings behind Joe Biden?
That's what I'm saying.
We're back to Illuminati. Like, this is what it is.
There's so many groups of like all
Jay-Z's
those
the president.
where you think that they're all just loonies. It was like, oh, they're loonies that like also hate each other and they call each other loonies.
It's so fascinating because part of me, like, when it comes to the Illuminati, I'm like, part of me wants to believe that's true, just so that there is a group of people who actually know what's going on and can control something. But I don't believe it.
I think.
You think the Illuminati is true?
You gotta just
You can say, we'll bleep it out.
I think there's like bleep all. No, don't bleep this. But like, I think
YouTube membership.
I don't know, man. Like, there's somebody out there that owns the color blue. Like, there's somebody out there that just owns like concepts and shit.
Oh yeah, I mean, no, that's true. I mean, there's people out there that just own that concept.
What is he saying?
And you guys thought I was crazy when I one day was like, isn't it crazy that we're never going to get another letter? But then Blessings over here talking about owning all of this shit.
Wait, Joe, we could definitely get another letter. Living language.
This is exciting news for me.
Like, I played enough Metal Gear Solid. Like, people are out there that like control everything.
I mean, they're definitely.
Like, I don't think Jay-Z is one of them.
Patriots.
You don't think he's one of them?
No, I think they're like so many degrees higher than Jay-Z.
I mean, Jay-Z's got to
In
be a
terms
billionaire,
of
right?
like money,
Well, I'll tell you
or
who they are.
Just power.
knowledge. Yeah.
Like, and like, I don't think we know who they are. I think they're just
just
shadow
like
figures.
nameless, faceless.
Nah, it's like the Koch brothers or the guys that are like hyper billionaires, the ones that are worth like $200 billion, who
Like
pay
Warren
a lot of
Buffett?
money. Buffett, I don't think Buffett is a guy pulling the strings because he's too out front. Like he's everywhere and he's a very personal. I'm worried about the guys that you've never heard of. The people who are like,
saying.
Yeah,
hey,
that's
this
what I'm
is
talking about.
Like I scrolled through a list of like the top 10 that was on Instagram, like most wealthy people in the world. I mean,
Sure, it
first
wasn't
off,
BuzzFeed.
I mean,
BuzzFeed's Instagram.
let's be 100% honest. It probably was BuzzFeed. I love BuzzFeed. I love BuzzFeed like it's 2007.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like some of these guys are worth so much money, and you've never heard of them. You're like, what does this guy do with
what are you
$126
doing?
billion? See, if I had that much money, I wouldn't do anything. But I guess you have to at that point because there's people like.
Do you?
I imagine when you're worth that much money, you're constantly fighting off things. I don't know what though. Wars, finance, money, sales, stocks.
Wars.
You know, I mean, like people coming at
You're
you.
owning the color
yeah,
blue.
yeah.
I don't know if I don't think that there's any like I think it's all pretty out there of like what you're seeing is what you're getting, and yes, the Koch brothers and gigantic corporations that are buying off politicians. Like
I think that's
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
And I think even hoping for more would make me a bit more optimistic about the world, but it's like, no, it's rich people just wanting to pay to get power, and that's
it's rich people paying lobbyists to do 20-year plans for them, while the rest of us can only think in spans of like 20 days.
And and it's all the stuff about fucking anytime Ted Cruz backs the NRA, it's like, oh, he's given all his money by the NRA, and Nancy Pelosi bought those stocks, and oh, guess what? That stock just got bought out, and now the money goes up.
That
like
shit's crazy.
all that stuff is like, I think
illegal.
The Nancy Pelosi stock stuff
She's one of the best traders that's ever existed.
is wild.
And it's like,
Are you familiar with this?
No, I have no idea.
So there's groups of people on Reddit that just like follow whatever the Pelosi's trade, whatever their stock purchases or sales are, and then immediately do that because she's not supposed to, but given her position and a lot of people's positions in the government, when you set policy for things, it can affect corporate stocks. And then there have been multiple. I mean, supposedly, I don't really follow this, and Kevin knows more than I do, but supposedly she's had multiple trades where you're like, that is insider information that you are trading on. That you knew this shit was going to happen.
It's
like,
always her.
Congress was going to pass a bill that was going to affect this, and the stock price is going to go up, and all of a sudden she made $123 million.
And it's crazy that like there is no rule that says, hey, if you work for the government.
I think there is.
I mean, you just have to. I mean,
there
is insider trading.
Loopholes, though, right?
Yeah, but like she just announces it, like because any.
You just have to tell people that you did it.
Yeah. But also, I think that like there's also family involved that buy stuff. But it's like, it's crazy that's just like there's not more stopping that.
Let's be perfectly honest, though. That's why people get into politics to begin with. It's not to fucking make the country a better place.
No,
it's to have power so that you can just make more fucking money.
And that's why I'm like, I don't.
How do we buy the color?
I don't know if anybody owns the color blue. That's like in a shadowy figure out there, like. It's happening in front of our eyes. Like we just kind of let this shit happen.
Shit happens,
people
man.
definitely own colors, but it's in very specific use cases, like Tiffany blue and all of that kind of stuff.
But I want to believe, Bless. I want to believe the Patriots have been dead for a million.
Like, have you guys seen the new Mr. and Mrs. Smith show?
No.
I saw like the first 2 episodes and never.
So,
went
like,
back.
there's the whole idea that they work for people and they don't know who they work
Yeah.
for, right?
Yeah.
Like they just get commands, they do them. And like one of the first things they do is they essentially deliver a bomb, spoilers for episode 1, to like some rich people, and then like they explode or whatever. And it's like, damn, okay, well that's the job. I'm like, there are people that in theory, the people who they work for are like these shadowy Illuminati patriots. Like they look at Donald Trump and Biden and they're like, oh, that's nothing.
Yeah.
Compared
like think about like
what we do and what we own
think
and
about
what we
if you had
manipulate.
so much money. Like you have hundreds of billions of dollars, right? And you see a guy like Donald Trump who's out there, right? Everyone knows who he is. He's out there in the public doing crime and getting away with it. And like, yeah, granted, he's on trial for a bunch of stuff now, right? He's got a bunch of cases now, but hope to God he comes to justice. But
fake news.
But look at like the shit he gets away with, and then
Your
you think
impression's
to
gotten
yourself,
really good, Andy. I just want to
really
say.
good.
Thank you.
And then just think to yourself, like, what could you get away with if nobody really knew who you were, and everyone was beholden to you, and you paid everyone's fucking salaries in the government? You could just do whatever you wanted. You could have anyone you wanted killed. Period. Straight.
Somebody in the
That's
chat.
my conspiracy is that they're out there.
I forget who it was. So, it's DG Mayer says rules only apply to the poor, which is true. Because
It's
if you
so
have enough
true.
money,
Oh, yeah.
it's like you buy your way at anything.
Absolutely. Wild. Ladies and gentlemen.
I really wanted to end the podcast when Blessing said somebody owns color blue. That shit had me dying.
Do you guys think we
Cut the
went on
rest
the
of
moon?
that.
Do you think we landed?
Oh, God, end
Do you think we landed on the
podcast.
moon?
End the podcast. Yes.
Are you asking
I mean, I'm asking you guys.
Did you see? Wait, did you
I'm
guys
not asking me, I'm
see
asking
the
you.
movie trailer details that came out with Channing Tatum? That they have a movie that's coming out, which is set around the moon landing, and it's him and somebody else, I forget who, but they're the team that's like tasked with making a moon landing like movie video in case it's not possible to land on the moon.
That's awesome.
You mean the real story about
Yeah.
that? See, that's where you start getting into the conspiracy.
Exactly.
I haven't followed the moon landing stuff in a long time.
I haven't.
But the idea is like the crosshairs on the like. There's like multiple shots that you can tell were like composited.
Yeah.
And look, if I'm not saying that we did or didn't land on the moon, but if we didn't land on the moon, and we got away with convincing Russia that we did, and that bankrupted them, I'm just saying, Good on us.
Pretty
But
baller move.
just
Fucking badass,
Nick-
right? Fucking badass.
Something that
Nick,
somebody who
Scarjo,
owned the
that's
color
what
blue
for
would do.
me, please just say that we landed.
We landed.
Thank you.
No, of course,
But, like-
of course, we landed on the moon.
But like,
of course, right? Of course,
if we didn't land on the moon, would we know?
The Earth is round.
I'm just
all
saying,
these
there's no.
things-
The only strategic value.
We
to
left
land on the
shit
moon.
on the moon,
No,
guys.
no,
we
we
can
landed
look
on
at
the
that
moon. We
stuff.
landed
You been there?
No, I think the only plausible conspiracy theory that I think one could buy into, and I'm not saying I do because I think we landed on the moon, is that they
say
faked
it.
all that shit originally, but we have since been to there, or we didn't. Maybe that didn't go what we wanted to, but we hyped it up and did all that stuff. But I don't know.
I was waiting on you to say something else, but never mind.
Oh, what? Like there's a base on the other side of the dark side of the moon. That's for.
Something related to
For
an actual
Transformers.
tragedy.
Oh yeah, I thought you were going.
I thought
down
you were
like,
going 9/11.
oh no,
I'm not the 9/11 conspiracy theorist here.
I
That's
thought you
Greg
were gonna
Miller.
go
Greg Miller does
JFK.
that.
Greg Miller. Okay.
Well, the JFK shit, that's the original conspiracy theory,
Yeah.
right? That's what everyone always talks about. I don't care. I don't really understand. I don't follow it. I tried watching the Oliver Stone's JFK. Oh, it's too fucking long. Way too long.
What kind of funny podcast episode was it where I did?
But 9/11
I
wasn't
did
it,
the. I
so-
did the. I,
I'm saying, dude.
I did.
Guys,
I did
please.
Bob. I did a 9/11 Truther Bob Dylan character.
God.
You can't. You
remember
can't
that.
melt the steel beams.
Oh my God.
Says Bob
Andy, you
Dylan.
were right. We should have ended.
I love it. I love it. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Where's
This
the
is like
fuselage?
ADHD the podcast. There's no like cohesive line for how we
There's
got anywhere
nothing
today,
in
and I
the
love
I
it.
love. Here's the thing. I love talking about dumb, like possibly incendiary subjects
Where are the
with
bodies?
the three of you. Because
This is a crew that doesn't get to podcast together very often.
we don't get to podcast very much. We can tackle dumb subjects like this, and it doesn't give Tim anxiety because he doesn't know we did it.
He's not here.
Oh, yeah.
It's perfect. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Kind of Funny podcast. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Let us know, truthfully and honestly, in the YouTube chat right now, did we land on the moon?
Who owns the color blue?
Who owns the color blue?
Is it
And
Jay-Z?
is the Earth flat? I want those answers. And if there's any sort of rhyme or reason to those answers, I will see that as a pattern, and we'll know we're all where me and Andy go. One, we go all.
Absolutely.
God damn it! This is bad.